All right, everyone. The other day it was like Gen X liberal meets, millennial era liberal in a death match, and it was really, really funny. Whoopi Goldberg and Alexandria Ocasio Cortez. Whoopi Goldberg is an old school 80s and 90s leftist, which means she was considered pretty far out during that period. Unfortunately, now it makes her center left, which is terrifying. This should really show the left side of the spectrum. You've gone way far out to left field. You've really, really lost your fucking minds. She comes out and says, because Cortez has come out and she's sort of like criticizing elements of her own party, sort of trying to remain constantly in the limelight. She's sort of the happening thing. She's getting a big head, basically. She seems to be overly egotistical and domineering. Goldberg said basically, look, you can't do that. You're young, you're inexperienced, that's fine, but you need to, you've got people who have been fighting for these causes, free shit basically for 20, 30 years. Talk to them, get some experience under your belt, then you can start weighing in on these things. Don't just start trying to upstage everyone, get more experience and learn. Like, you're not the only person in the Democratic Party basically. Immediately gets totally fucking fried by a bunch of Cortez fans and by every millennial leftist. I'm thinking to myself, this is Whoopi Goldberg. She has a lot of experience in what I would call craftivism, basically. She's far left. She's a no guns, more taxes, pro welfare, pro progressivism, wedge issue bullshit. This is a leftist, a far leftist, by any reasonable degree of standards. The fact that she's older gets her crucified. They're like, well, Whoopi Goldberg, she's not in office. She's, Cortez is young and vibrant and diverse and all this shit. Who cares what Whoopi Goldberg says? I'm like, who cares what Whoopi Goldberg says? Well, every liberal 10 years ago. So if I'm Goldberg, I'm like, my God, this fucking party, the wheels have come off it. It's fucking a runaway train. It's off the rails. It doesn't make any sense. She's trying to give very good advice, I think, to a person who can cripple her own career. The fact that Alexandria Ocasio Cortez right now is sort of the it thing within the Democratic Party. Mainly, and it's basically it's manufactured. They're doing that because she's young and happens to be, she looks good for the camera, sort of like Gillibrand minus 10 years or something. They're trying to groom her into sort of the celebrity, charismatic leader of the party. I think that's a terrible idea long term for the Democrats to go down that route. If you think that you have a schism right now, yes, wonderful. Those business Democrats will love to come back aboard when Trump rips apart her 70% marginal tax rate plan. It's going to be a wonderful thing. Or when they point out that even the state of Vermont, farther left than her district, tried to study universal health care and figured it wasn't feasible because the tax rates would go through the roof. Yes, it'll be a wonderful time when you have to explain to people why you want to double their tax burden. And that's the effective tax burden, trust me, that it would end up doubling for the middle class. Enjoy paying 30-40% when you're only making a working class salary. I'm sure Ma and Pa America will love that plan. It's free stuff, though. You've got to pay for other people. By the way, that'll include people that aren't even citizens, if New York is any indicator. Goldberg's like, hey, slow down here. You just barely got into Congress, and you're trying to hog all the limelight. There are other people here, too. No, you're not allowed to say that, Whoopi, you fucking sellout. How dare you punch left? And what do you expect her to do? She's trying to give good advice. Whoopi Goldberg's got plenty of fucking experience making a lot of money, branding herself, and being successful. You don't have to like her politics. You don't have to like her movies either to understand, hey, you might want to take this advice, Alexandria. You're not exactly all that. In a couple of years, you could be kicked back out and never be in politics a fucking again. And that's exactly what'll happen, by the way, if you antagonize too much of the corporate structure of the party. See, they want you there to be charismatic. You're not going to be a big money draw because the things that you're proposing would piss off Silicon Valley. They don't want to pay more taxes. The CEOs that run the Democratic Party don't want to pay more taxes. The Clintonites that run the party and get that money don't want to pay more taxes and they don't want to share power. They're using you as a pawn. That's fundamentally what the Democratic Party does. This is why I think that it comes apart over the next decade at least. Because the further left, the charismatic, youth-friendly side of the party is eventually going to realize, hey, we're being used. The Democrats will never represent our interests. They're not even going to negotiate for our interests. They'll do one throwaway little peon issue every few years for us, and they get 99% of everything, and we're just raising money for a corporate apparatus. And some of these people will sell out and over time temper themselves and won't care. Cortez will probably be one of them. When she starts getting that nice congressional money and realizes she can charge $1,000 per plate for a dinner, where she's talking to 200-300 rich people. Once she realizes that, it's a different game now. Money will tempt anyone, especially the kind of bills you're talking about once you get into Congress. It's going to be interesting because if she's the charismatic new kid on the block, she's going to be the one that everyone wants to come to their wedding. Oh, wow, yeah, you're just lovely. Here, let's pay 10. I want you to show up for my wedding, and I'll give you $5,000. It's just fine. I'm paying you for make a 10-minute speech. So it's a business proposal and shit. Oh, come to my wedding. Oh, yeah, you want to schmooze with these celebrities? Yeah, here, look, there's Bloomberg. He's worth billions of dollars. He wants to pay you, too. He's got some ideas. Yeah, he wants to fund your re-election campaign, Alexandria. You gonna turn down those millions? I bet anything that you won't. Fucking sellout. She'll sell out. You watch what'll happen. She's no progressive anyway. The things that she's suggesting are just pie-in-the-sky utopian bullshit anyway from the far left. She's just a social democrat. She's not a socialist. Bullshit. Whoopi Goldberg looks sane standing next to a person. You know that person's not operating with all the marbles they need in their head. That's what I would say. It's hilarious. This is exactly like you can't picture a better situation that sort of shows the schismatic tendency of the left. Whoopi Goldberg, older, she's liberal, but she's business friendly and stuff. She's not as far left. And then you have this young individual who thinks that they're all that. The world revolves around them. Give me free shit. It's all about me, me, me. And that's basically what it is. Keep in mind, she's basically my age. This is my generation entering politics. The first person from that sort of era entering politics is a spoiled kid who pretends to be like, oh yeah, I'm Jenny from the Bronx, shit. Working class all the way. No, I didn't have any privilege growing up. I want to tax the rich people more. Yeah, basically, it personifies more than half of the millennial mindset, unfortunately. I realize that I'm an outcast in my own generation that would get along more with people that are either quite a bit younger or quite a bit older. Like Gen X is more fucking sane. Gen X, people who threw themselves off skyscrapers on TV for a lark, more sane than the millennials within politics. It's fucking scary, people. My generation sometimes is a little bit disappointing. I thought it would stick to its guns. Like 10 years ago, I'm like, oh, I hope this generation doesn't sell out. Like on Facebook, the time which was useful for activism, I was sort of posting about them like, hey, I like this anti-war sentiment and anti-police state surveillance apparatus, fuck Bush sort of stuff, and everything. But I'm hoping it doesn't melt away and that people don't sell out like the hippies did. And they sold out like the hippies did, only 10 times worse. At least the hippies got jobs. They became yuppies. It's really, really funny to see this. And overall, I can't side with either of them because I don't agree with either of them, but Whoopi Goldberg does look more sane. You might want to listen to your elders, Alexandria. Isn't Whoopi Goldberg like almost 70 now? I think she's an older lady now. I still remember from like 90s Whoopi Goldberg, middle-aged and shit, doing like B-list movies, basically. I remember one of the funniest ones, didn't she play the Cheshire Cat in a really weird version of Alice in Wonderland from the early 90s? I think she did, and it was like that early era of CGI I think they were using, and so it was really, really warped. It was like way more like a fever dream than the weird psychedelic cartoon from the 60s. Oh my god, it's like, yeah, you could practically feel the fucking psilocybin in that one. That's about all. Peace out.